Hey everybody, Glenn Tompkins and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about stocks that are on Google Trends. Why? Because I want to try to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world of stocks. So, I've got 5 stocks for you to take a look at. Are they hot or are they worth it? We're going to be looking at ZEV, Z-E-V, Fisker, F-S-R, Fulcrum, F-U-L-C, Caxon Motors, KXIM, and IMV. If you want to see what I found out about these stocks and if they're still hot, you sit right there. Hey everybody, Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Love bringing these videos out to you to let you know what's good, what's maybe not so good using the VectorVest system. Today I've got 5 stocks that are trending big time on Google's Trends. So if you're brand new to the channel, would love for you to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new content like this comes out. And most of all, if you haven't already, you should. Smash that like button. Let this video get out to everybody it needs to get out to. All right, let's get right into it. Let's start off with my web stories. Today, I'm looking at 5 stocks. 2 of them happen to be in the electrical vehicle space. I've got one article that talks about some 5 best EV stocks to look at. 2 of the stocks that are in this list is what I'm going to look at today. ZEV is one of them, and the other one is Fisker. Now, just on the other side, or just on the side note, I like each one of these EV stocks, with the exception of right now, NIO, because it is a Chinese company, and China is breaking down or cutting down or just beating up on some of their stocks, some of those companies. So that's the only one I'd be wary of, but I like the charge point. I like the blink. I like Fisker. And I like ZEV. So we'll talk about starting with ZEV. All right, so the first story says, let's go see. Lightning eMotors, that's the company, is a leading provider of specialty commercial electric vehicles for fleets. So not just like a NIO or a Tesla car or Lucid Motors or anything like that. This is looking at it on a bigger perspective of fleets. In essence, it has been providing specialized and sustainable fleet solutions since 2009 by deploying complete zero-emission vehicles solutions for commercial fleets. The company designs, engineers, and manufactures zero-emission vehicles to support the wide array of fleet and customer needs that include school buses, I like that, and ambulances. It provides a wide or full suite of control software, telemetrics, analytics, and charging solutions to simplify the buying and ownership and experience. So I like this because of what they do, and it seems like it's a one-stop source for all of their needs. Now, also for Lightning Motors, what else? Lightning Motors, and this just came out yesterday, announces a second quarter 2021 earnings release date and conference call. Earnings are now going to be coming out on August 16, 2021. So if you like this stock, just know that earnings is coming up. So I wanted to let you know that as well. All right, now let's get to my other stock in this story, which is Fisker. Let's scroll down a little bit. Fisker, an EV company that is based in California. Overall, the company is looking to revolutionize the automotive industry by developing one of the most eco-friendly EVs in the world. It strives to be #1 in e-mobility service provider with the world's most sustainable vehicles. Fisker is currently traded at $18.39, and that was yesterday, up over 22%. Now, also on this side of Fisker, let's go look at Morgan Stanley issues an upbeat update on Fisker. Is it time to buy? So Morgan Stanley, the stock spiked 27% on Tuesday. Morgan Stanley issued an upbeat update. The firm maintained a buy rating on Fisker with a price target of $90. That's big, and a base target of $40. Morgan Stanley predicts on-time 2020 production for EV startups show should you invest in Fisker now. So we're going to take a deeper look, but Morgan Stanley is a big backer of, it looks like, of this company. $90 price target. That's huge, all right? So those are my EV companies. Let's go take a look at another company, Fulcrum Therapeutics. So I've got a couple of drug companies in here, also trending on Google. Fulcrum Therapeutics reports a recent business highlights and second quarter 2021 financial results, also as of yesterday. They reported a positive interim results of ongoing phase 1, so early in the drug trial, phase 1 trial in healthy adult volunteers for sickle cell disease, very prevalent in African American men, demonstrating proof of mechanism and proof of biology. Company plans to initiate enrollment of phase 1B clinical trial in sickle cell patients in the fourth quarter of 2021. So, big news on the ability of a stock to overcome a disease, in this case, again, sickle cell, and that's going to be a big pusher of the stock being more popular right now. But does it have the stamina to keep going? We're going to find out. Now, also, Fulcrum Therapeutics announces a proposed public offering of common stock. So what are they going to do? They're raising money. A clinical stage biopharmaceutical company focused on improving the lives of patients with genetically defined rare diseases today announced that it commenced an underwritten public offering of $100 million worth of shares of its common stock. Again, a company that's now getting ready to raise money. So when you have a situation where you're going after a drug, it takes a lot of R&D, it takes a lot of money, and they're putting out $100 million worth of shares of its common stocks to raise money. I think that that's a good thing, all right? So that was the two parts to that story. Another story, Caxton Motors. Caxton Auto Holdings stock rises after announcing plans for a smaller size EV. I like that. A lot of people, EVs are going to be the way to go. Our government has already said that by 2030, we're going to have half the sales of cars are going to be electric cars. But how about being able to do a smaller size electric vehicle? People who are going to be looking to downsize, number one, or get better mileage. I don't know. Smaller cars, I think, appeals to a lot of people. That's all I needed to know was the headline of that story. And last but not least, I've got another drug company. IMV announces final top-line results of its drug clinical trial in advanced recurrent ovarian cancer. Cancer is such an ugly thing, but I love when companies can effectively try to push forward to go against these things. Now, there's something that catches my attention. Final patient completed the study after more than 2 years of clinical benefits with that drug. Median overall survival was 19.9 months, so you're getting almost 2 years worth of extra survival. Survival rate was 44.9% at 23.8 months. Now, I'm concerned about that number, and I don't know a whole lot in regards to what's good as a survival rate when they're looking at cancer drugs. But in my mind, I think that number is low. That's in my mind, after almost 2 years, almost 50% survival rate. So I don't know if that's going to hold the company back or not, but it is in the news. It's in the story, so I'm going to take a look at that. All right. So now from here, let's get into the VectorVest program. And before we get started, I did this story again on 2 stocks in the same space, talking about Google trending stocks. The 2 stocks were AHPI and DIDI, and I was very favorable, more favorable when it came to AHPI than it was for DIDI, even though they were both speculative plays. But one was a buy. It was already moving up. The other one was the Chinese rideshare company. I didn't have as much nice stuff to say about that. The story was done here on YouTube on 7:30. I want to show you something. When I quick test them, look at that. AHPI is up almost 50% since the story released, where DIDI is down 13%. So hopefully by way of these results, you'll pay attention to today's stocks. Here's my 5 stocks. Let's stream this. Let's see what they're looking like today. Fulcrum is up 5% today. It's the only stock that's up out of my 5 stocks. Now, what catches my attention on all 5 of these stocks, from the VectorVest system, the fundamentals in the stocks are not there. These are all speculative plays. Upside potential on the stocks, all below the value of 1. Relative safety on the stocks, all below the value of 1. But 4 out of the 5 are in uptrends. Why? Because they are very popular on Google. That makes sense. Now, even though IMV is one of those stocks that's popular on Google, not only is it speculative, but it's not in an uptrend right now. And it's the only stock in my list that is a sell recommendation. All right. Now, from an analysis perspective, we know that they are speculative. All of the stocks are overvalued. Doesn't make them a bad stock, but it means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. Now I'm going to graph them all. Now, as I graphed them all, I did a little something else. I looked at what the analysts said about all of these stocks. As we look at Fulcrum, big up day yesterday, a little bit of give back day today. It's still a green candle, but it's a closed green candle. Analyst forecast, and there's 7 of them that give a forecast of $34, and I put today's date as a reference point. So 19 to 34, that could be a good move. That's the analyst. As I look at the stock, the 3 and the 8 just recently crossed. I like that. Today is just a give back, probably a lot of profit taking. RT is above 1. Volume is big for the last 2 days along with the news. What do I feel? Do I think it can get up to $34? As long as the 3 and the 8 can stay cross, I'm all for that. And as long as the stock's price can continue to take out the most recent highs. But that is the analyst forecast. Let's go to the next stock. Zev, a little bit of a give back day after yesterday being a nice up day. Analyst forecast, there's 6 of them. The forecast is $17 as the stock is trading at $10.76. I like the big bump in volume because volume is conviction. On an end of day basis, the 3 and the 8 is still bullish. Let's keep that in mind. I think as long as the stock can stay above the 3, it's got some potential. Let's go to the next stock. Fisker, a little bit going bottom left, top, not really top right, a little bit of consolidation going on right here. A little bit of a 3-8 cross, breaking above a level of resistance at $16.95. 7 analysts forecast $40 price target. $40 price target. Well, as long as the 3 and the 8 stay bullish, I like the volume. Let's see if volume can hold up, and RT is above the value of 1. Looking at Caxon, excuse me. I've got no analyst predictions on this as the stock is trading at $276. I see the stock pulling back after a closed candle, now a red candle, 3 and the 8, still a positive, but stock's price is currently below the 3. From a more aggressive standpoint, I'd say you might want to cut your ties with it as of right now. Even though the news looks good about the smaller vehicle, right now, the news is not enough to sustain it as long as it stays below the 3 exponential moving average. Volume is picking up with the news, but price action is showing me something else. And last but not least, IMV, down day today as the stock is doing a little bit of a sideways mumbo. Down day today. 4 analysts forecast $10 price target at the stock's price trading at $1.63. So I know it's going after ovarian cancer, and they're raising money, but wow, right now it's not enough right now for the stock to say, hey, let's go after it. RT is falling as well. Now, I did something a little different for you. Patrick did this on one of his most recent videos. I'm going to go over to the graphs, and I'm going to look at these graphs, look at these stocks over the last 3 months. More of a trading perspective. Look at these graphs over the last 3 months. I have on here the VectorVest composite and the SPY. SP right now is outpacing the VectorVest composite. Let's put on ZEV. Wow, outperforming both the VectorVest composite and the S&P 500, but look at the pullback today, but look at that stock's price outpacing. But prior to the news, it was under or lagging both the VVC and the S&P 500. So that's strictly news-driven. Fisker, on the other hand, it's been outperforming the S&P and VVC for the most part. I like that. A little pop on the news, a little bit of sideways move, and we're looking at just the last 3 months of performance in the market. Look at Fulcrum. Wow, look at it. Now, this is also news-driven. It's pulled up because of the news, outperforming both the VVC and the S&P 500. But prior to that, it was underperforming. Right now, Fisker was the only one prior to the news that was outperforming the both of them. KXIN, news-driven, now outperforming the S&P and VVC, but look at the pullback on the stock right now. And then the last one is IMV, the only one that's still underperforming, even with the news, the S&P and the VVC. So now, if I had to look at which one I really like to get into, it looks like Fisker. Fisker was the only one from the beginning of the last 3 months that outperformed both the VVC and the S&P 500, which are represented by these two lines. The other two did, let's see, purple. Let's go put my mouse on it. Caxon did as well, and Zev, but look how they started underperforming both the S&P 500 and the VVC, whereas Fisker, even though it fell, it was still outperforming. So if I had to look at all 5 of these stocks, the one that I'm looking at that I would think about getting into based on the story and the performance over the last 3 months, even though all 5 of these stocks are speculative stocks, right now it looks like Fisker would be the one that I would be looking at as a Google trending stock. Folks, remember, this is all about us doing the work, you reaping the rewards, so that you can sift through everything that's out there that's really rocking and rolling and just big on big up days. Which ones have sustainability? Right now, by way of the analysis, it looks like Fisker is the one that does have the sustainability, whereas the other ones were pumped up by the news and then started outperforming where Fisker didn't. So with that, folks, this video is over. Remember, share this video, like this video, comment down below. Are you in any of these stocks? Let me know. Until the next time, folks, see ya.